Hi everyone, welcome back. To see you all. Today I thought, how about I look into where I started versus kind of where I am. So, in the beginning, as you guys know, I started truly with blankets. And although I still highly love working with blankets, and it is truly the one portion of crochet that always seems to ground me. When I first picked up my hook and had to learn how to do a chain, how to do single crochets, how to do whatever, I I didn't start on a blanket. I started on a little project that was nothing, and I'm going to show you that today. It wasn't meant to be anything. It was literally meant to allow me to learn my stitches and how to chain and just what to do in general. So when I started with this beginner yarn that I got off of Amazon. These are little tiny skeins. They are 1 3/4 ounce, 65.6 yards. And it's beginner yarn. Now this is kind of tubular. I don't know if you can really see that, but it's round. Well, of course it's round. Duh. Anyway, it's tubed. So inside of it, and I don't really, yeah, maybe you can see it on this one. Maybe not. Maybe you can't. You're not going to be able to see it. There's fibers inside the tube. And then the tube is just like a normal material on the outside. But you have like this hollow tube that they kind of like fill with some kind of a stuffing almost, is what it feels like. Anyway, that's the yarn I started with. That orange, actually, that I was just kind of showing the edge of, that is what I actually used for my first project. That wasn't really a project. Again, it was just here I need to learn my stitches, so this is what I'm going to use. I just unwound the extra that I had of it. This is the one that I used. This is just an orange. So I'll show you my project, and I'm not showing you this to for people to go, oh my God, it's so awful. Yes, I know it's awful. And you know what? That's how we began, and that's okay. So, I'm going to preface this with, this was my first piece of anything that I ever crocheted, okay? So, this is the way that it looks now, and by that I mean after probably 2 weeks of stitching my chain and undoing it probably 50 or 60 times. Finally getting my chain the way I wanted it and was happy with it. Moving on to the first row here of stitches, which was single crochets. Undoing the first row, redoing the first row, probably, I don't know, 10 or 20 times. And then being happy enough with the first row and going, okay, now I think I know what I'm doing, at least with the single crochet. And again, it's not great, y'all. It's not meant to be great. This is beginning learning how to do these things, you know? And look at those horrible ends. You guys, my ends were so bad. Look at this end. It is terrible. Look at that. It did not stay straight. So I want to remind you guys, and I've said this before, so if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll remember me saying this, so I apologize for the repeating of this. Your projects aren't going to be perfect. When you start, there's no way that your projects are going to be perfect. And that is more than okay. That is exactly the way it is supposed to be. You're learning. You cannot expect perfection when you literally don't know what you're doing. And that's okay. Because that is the way it's supposed to look when you're first starting. It's not supposed to be the best piece of crocheted material ever. It's supposed to be, this is where I started. And now that's where I've become. That's where I've gotten to. This is how far I've grown since I started. And you will grow if you keep at it. You will get better and better. And before you know it, your projects will be perfect, just like everyone else who's been doing it for 10 or 20 years. But it takes time. It takes practice. It takes consistency in doing your projects in order to get to that point. And y'all, I'm a year in. I'm still not to that point. I still mess up. I still need to prog it. It's not always perfect, but you know what? It's handmade. Handmade doesn't mean we settle for imperfections. Handmade means we're not a machine. Our hands did that. And that's more than what a lot of people can say. We did that. So that's more than enough. You don't have to have it perfect. I don't see every tiny flaw in a project as being something that screams out, you're not good enough. I see those flaws and I go, you did that. It may have looked terrible, and I can look back on it now and go, oh my gosh, this was so bad. I had gaping holes in some spots, and other spots my stitches were just really tight. You know what? That's tension. You're learning. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. Eventually, one day, you get it. And maybe my brain's got a little bit slower of muscle memory. It's taking me a little longer. That's okay too. That's a me issue. Everyone has their issues. But eventually, you go from wonky edges to figuring out where you need to put that first stitch at the end of your row and ending up with straighter ends. This is still not straight, but it's straighter. So bad. It's okay. Still to this day, if I didn't use stitch markers in my ends, I would still mess it up. So you know what? It's just the way it is. It's okay. We're allowed to not be perfect. No one is. We're not made to be perfect humans. You're just made to try. Not to try to be perfect, but to just try in general. So, I'm going to let you guys go. Until next time, be you, always. Bye, y'all.